Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Exoria. So, today we are going to be working on the house. That's what we're going to be working on the entire episode. Of course, this is going to be a build video. We're going to be working over here, and we're going to pick back up where we left off. I know it's been a couple episodes since the last build video for the house. That's just because I've got, so many projects on here. Like, I've been working on that greenhouse and stuff that I showed you guys last episode. So we're going to be working in here. We're going to try to get, the windows put in the back and on the sides. Get a lot of this exterior cleaned up. Maybe start decorating some of the exterior. I've got to put posts on this roof so, it actually looks like it's supported. And I have to add staircase in here. Maybe even start working on the basement, digging that out. And, maybe do the staircase that goes down. Put up some of the walls and, a lot of that. I mean, we've got the base structure in the last build video. And that, to me, the base structure, most important part, once you get that, it's a little bit easier because it's really just kind of going through, a fine-tooth comb. And then going back through with an even finer tooth comb. And then a finer tooth comb until everything's done. So I would like to start getting some rooms put up so that we can have, like, our enchanting set up in here and, stuff like that. So that's going to be our focus this episode. And so I'm going to cut for a little bit. I'm going to do a bit of work. And I'll bring you guys back when I feel like I have something to show you guys. Okay, it has been a bit since I last cut. And I'm happy to say that the windows are all in. Throughout the entire building. So that part's done. And I've been clearing out a bit of trees because I had some trees that were kind of close to the building. So I was clearing some of those out for, so I can continue building. Back here I did put in the arches. Or not the arches. The pillars. I was doing a lot of arches, but not these. So I have put in the pillars on the back section here. And then I have brought this out. This is actually where I've been clearing a lot. And then I was cutting back a couple trees that were up close to the house. I'll probably cut back a little bit further. But just kind of starting that. And then I've been clearing out this dirt and replacing it with runestone and a little bit of ash brick. Bringing that back. So we have this little back area that's coming together, and look, we have back windows now. And I went with a little bit different of a design, just that straight bar, because I quite like that. I quite like that on the big windows. I do indeed. And then over here we've got the pillars on this section of the back as well. And then if we come around here, we've got more windows right there. And that's all the windows. I hear you. By the way, this front yard, I'm going to have to switch this from Misty World grass to just standard Minecraft grass, I think, because, Misty World grass just keeps growing tall grass. Indefinitely. So I've got this just, mega overgrown yard area. It's not gonna work. It's a little bit much, because I can't even see, the pathway from here. And then if we head on inside, big surprises lie in store. So I hear you. Oh wait, you're in the house. Okay, we're gonna have to get a powered lantern up in here pretty soon. So anyways, I have been working on this section, and we have a staircase that goes up. We'll go up there in just a second. And I have also been adding in the walls that are going to dictate rooms, room divisions. So wall right here, and I've added a bunch of supports and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to keep that pillar going across, because then it kind of looks lopsided because I don't have anything to plug in that pillar in over here. I mean, I could do pillars one away from that. I don't know. I'm going to play around with it, because now that kind of looks really lopsided the more I look at it. But I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, there's a divider there, and then if we step through, I have this little semi-divider. It's kind of open. But honestly, I had this long wall without a window, and I wanted to put something in there, and I'm actually going to have this semi-divided, there's going to be some stuff over here, and then this will be kind of a separate room, but still related to this room, kind of a thing. It's kind of what I'm thinking, so it'll make sense, I promise. And then I love those windows from the inside. I do quite like it. I still have to do the ceiling. That's actually one thing I'm going to be doing between this cut and the next cut, is adding the ceiling throughout the house, because it's really gonna, right now it just looks like a lot of basalt, sealed planks, spruce, and then once I add the light color of the ceiling, I think it's gonna all come together really nice. So, and then if we head through here, we have another divider wall, identical to the one over there. And then another divider wall right here that segments this room. And that's what it looks like from that side. And then another divider wall. So we're going to have a few different rooms back through here, but I figured I wanted to kind of keep that open feel by having just open archways so that you can seamlessly move from one room to the other. There's no doors inside of the house itself. I think I quite like it like that, just using the arches. And then if we come through here, we have a fireplace. And this might get shaped up slightly more, but I'm pretty happy with it overall. This is decocraft fireplace right there. And then, of course, decocraft deer head and a painting right there. And then, of course, I'll add a little bit of furniture and stuff. And then I think this room is going to look pretty nice. So, I'm going to be bringing over the deco bench and doing some work over here. Or maybe building a new deco bench. I don't know. I wouldn't mind having two, to be perfectly honest. But, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So, anyways, if we head through and we go up these stairs. And these are made out of basalt, by the way, the railings are. Because it kind of adds like a nice contrast. Plus, I do really like the way the basalt looks with the great wood and the spruce. I don't know, I love it. And it just has that really clean look for the railings, which I like. You did. So anyways, we can go up either side here. I was debating for a while where I was going to put the stairs. Generally, I'm not a big fan. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm generally not a big fan of walk through the front door and there's the stairs. I think it's overused a lot. But I do think it works in this house because I do have a bit of a distance between the front door and the stairs. And I don't know, it just kind of fits. But having this fireplace like right in the middle and not wanting to put the stairs in any of the wings of the house really kind of limited my options. But I am happy with the way it turned out. So if we head up here, we could come over to this section, or we can go over and there's a divider wall. And then we come through and there's like a little room here, not too big, and then we can come through another divider wall and we have another larger room. So, and this is actually probably, I'm debating on this or the other side of the house being the bedroom. But I'm still turning it over in my head. Either would work well. I've just got to figure out exactly which one I want to use. So, and look at this view from up here. And then I'll have furniture down there and these big windows, and then you'll be able to see outside to that back section. And then whenever we landscape that back section, I think it's going to look really, really nice. I think. I have a feeling so. And then if we head through here, another divider wall, and then one large room that has this overlook here. So that's the progress thus far. Quite a bit of work since the last episode. I mean, at the end of the day, it was mainly just adding in walls, windows, and stairs. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much been the majority of it. And then working on this back section, bringing that back. But between this cut and next, and I did the post, so that's good. Between this cut and next cut, I'm going to start work on the ceiling of the upstairs because I feel like that's kind of important to kind of bring the interior together. Because I feel like the feel in this area is almost like, it's really like drab a little bit. Because the ceiling is dark, the floor is dark, the walls are dark. But then if you come through here, I feel like it's a bit of a different feeling in like this room. Because you have that really like nice bright color coming from the roof, and I feel like it really changes the feel of the house from one segment to another. So I'm going to be working on the ceilings, and then I'm also probably going to be putting some rails up outside just around the walkways. I may try to get the grass out here changed over. I don't know. I'm going to look and see how much grass blocks I have. But the void miner is picking it up, so I may change it all over to dirt, toss in a few grass blocks, and let it spread. I think that would work. So, but I'm going to add some railings, down along through here, and start adding the railings to the walkways and all of that stuff. And then I'll work on probably bringing this out a little bit more to where it's actually going to go. I doubt I'm going to work on landscaping the backyard yet. I mean, the backyard is it's going to take a lot of work. It's definitely going to take a lot of work. So, I don't even know if we'll get to that this episode or not. We'll see. But that's the big things I'm gonna be working on between cuts. I do believe that's the major things. There might be some other minor things, but we'll see. So, anyways, I will be back here in a bit once I get the next segment done. Okay, it has been a little bit. It has been a little bit since the last cut. I have added in a couple rugs in a couple different places. I'm going to add more. And then I've also done some pillar work, and I've done railings and stuff like that. It's actually storming, and I love being inside this house when it's storming. So I was like, okay, I need to record now because I do quite like the rain from outside. Like, look at that. Look at that. But I haven't added the ceiling upstairs. And the reason is, originally I was thinking about going with this ceiling that we have over here. And you can see I've got some of the railings up and stuff. I've actually got pretty much all the railings done. But in here I like this roof. Or this ceiling. I do quite like it. Because it kind of adds, this house is very brown. It's cabin feel inside. And I like the roof up there because it kind of adds, I don't know, like a bit of that rustic feel that I'm looking for. But I found that in my test world, I did not like it up here because it felt too busy. I think because the roof is closer to the floor. In my duplicated test world, it just felt really, really busy. Like going through here, it was just like, man, there's just so much going on. So I scrapped that idea, and I don't know where that lightning hit. My house shouldn't be able to be burned down. So if I find that that's an issue, I can always build a lightning rod to help prevent that. But anyways, it just felt too busy. You can see I have done a little bit of the sealed planks to kind of add, a divider almost coming through here. But I didn't like the carved wood. I didn't. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with Benny's. I think I'm gonna go with the tiles, which they're not all fur. This isn't the exact look of all of them, but it's using the I can't remember if it's the woodworker or the panel worker here. I believe it's the woodworker, but we're probably gonna get into both of them. I can't remember which is which, honestly. But I believe it's the woodworker, but I think the panel worker would be good too. Basically, you take two different types of wood, but we need wood polish, so we can't really get into that right now. Wood polish requires the Benny's resin, which can be made from beeswax, but you need turpentine to make it, which requires resin through the steel, the Benny's resin. So we'll get into that later. But until then, I'm going to leave the roof as is, I think, for right now. Until we get into that, I'll think about it. There might end up being a roof, and I may end up doing something different. But as of right now, I think that's the way that I'm leaning because I think it would look good. But I don't know. I just don't like the carved wood up there because it's too busy with it being that close to the floor. And I did discover, as I've been working on this, I've been realizing that I did a major no-no. I should have made, like right here, where I have the sealed planks, I should have made them come up like 1 or 2 higher before the arch starts. Like the slant. Because it's going to make things hard, like furniture, it's going to be hard to put it up against the wall in a lot of cases. Which I kind of regret doing that, but it's a little bit late now. I'm not going to redo the entire roof. That takes forever. But for my future reference, and if you're planning on building a slanted roof, I do suggest you bring the walls up straight a little bit further than 1 block. 2 or even 3 blocks would be better before you start the slant, because it works better. So, kind of a future reference thing. It's my first time really building slanted roofs, so but you can see I've done some beam work. It's mainly in this main room here that I've done the beam work. And then I put down this rug here, and right over here I've stuck down another rug. Which I think I'm decently happy with the designs. Now, of course, I could do something with chisels and bits, but you're talking about you're talking about a week's work across the rugs. I don't know. I might end up doing that, but for right now I'm just going to put down carpets because they're a lot easier. They're a lot quicker. Chisels and bits is fun, but it sucks your soul out. And then, oh look, the sun's coming up. Perfect timing. If we head outside, I have brought the railings around, and they do span all the way around the house, and I've curved this so it looks a bit better. Right there. And then the rails come around on this side, come up, it's curved again right there, and they come around to the overgrown, super overgrown front yard. I'll probably, between this cut and next, I'm probably going to have to put down dirt and start letting it spread, because that's going to drive me absolutely insane. All this like dense grass. But you can see over here I've curved that, and I've curved over here as well. Which I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I do quite like those railings, even though they're just simple, plain basalt. I will probably add a railing right there. I've just got to figure out what I want to do. So that's like, I think, the only place that doesn't have a railing that will probably end up having a railing at the moment. And then I've brought the railings out, and I've brought this out. So, like, look at that. He's not going to let us enjoy it, is he? I do quite like this view. Of course, there's going to be stuff out here, and there's going to be a little roof overhang that comes out, you know, right in there. And then we'll have, like, sitting area down there. And then we have railings up here as well. So, and that's most of what I've been working on. It's most of what I've been working on since the last cut. So between this cut and next, I will probably end up doing the grass in the front. Landscaping this a little bit. Of course, we're going to come through with stuff and decorate it, but right now I just want it not overgrown grass. So I will probably do that, and then I'm probably going to add some more rugs. I do quite like the rugs, because this house is so brown with, you know, with the cabin feel, that I wouldn't mind some rugs to kind of contrast that. Of course, I am using brown wool here, but, you know, it's not quite just brown. It's more gold look to it. So I do quite like that. And I'm probably going to add the ceilings on this lower floor. I've got to figure out exactly what I want to do for the ceilings, but I will probably get those added in between cuts. And then I'll probably work on some pillars that kind of run through these side rooms here. So it'll mainly be down here. Of course, the upstairs isn't going to have, you know, so much in the way of pillars, I don't think. There is a couple places where I technically could put pillars, but I don't think there's going to be as many pillars on the upstairs. So I'll be working mainly on the downstairs between cuts, I think, and kind of cleaning up a little bit of this, and then maybe landscape the front, at least get the grass going, you know. So we'll see how it goes. But anyways, I'll be back here in a bit once I get some more to show you guys. Okay, welcome back. It's been a bit since I last cut, and I did go through and I changed out all this grass. And it was actually one of the first things I did. I did dirt, you know, and it has spread since I first put it in. So that way we can go through and we can just kind of add grass as we want it, instead of it being that overgrown mess that we had going there. Because it was too much. It was way, way too much. Over here I did add a rail that kind of comes back right there. I think that looks a little bit better, having that little division right there. And that's most of the stuff that I've done on the front here. If we step inside, though, the main thing that I have done on these upper floors is, like these main floors right here, I added a power cell, LV wire connector that comes up and feeds into a powered lantern. I've been testing with it. However, I have noticed that these guys still spawn all inside of here. As you can tell, I still have a lot of the sprouts and the grove sprites. I also still have drones spawning as well. And I have seen a couple enderworms. So it doesn't seem to really have any impact at all on the mobs. Like, they're going to spawn regardless, and they don't care what you have to say about it. They're going to come into your house. So I'm going to have to try to figure out something else, or just deal with creatures in my house. Which isn't ideal, but we'll see. I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to test it, because to be fair, I did have some doors open down here for a while. So they may have come up through the house, and maybe that's how they got in. I don't know. But anyways, right here I did add a railing right there. And then if you come through, there's a staircase that goes down. Dun-dun-dun. And this leads into our cellar. Now, it's not going to stay basalt, I promise. I just haven't decided exactly what block I want on the floor. And then, of course, I haven't decided what block I want to do the ceiling. I don't know if I want to leave it sealed planks and have it just be like the floor there, or how I want to do it. So I am going to have to do something over here, so I'm going to have to bring it down. I'm thinking a slab or chisels and bits. I don't know exactly how I want to do that. But, you know, this is still very much a work in progress. Now, all these pillars that come down, these spruce wood, are actually pillars. I tried to match it all up, so it's actually pillars that come down through the floor and where they would continue downwards into the base. Now, I am probably going to add a few more pillars, because back here it kind of looks barren when you go through this room, because this is the porch. So I'm going to add some other pillars that are here just kind of supporting up, you know, the base, and they don't actually run through the house. But the pillars that are currently down are the ones that are actually coming down from the upper levels. So, and then over here, of course, it's all barren. It's basically going to be a lot of like storage, clutter, kind of like food storage and different things like that. Just decorative. I'm going to use decocraft's barrels around through here. This is going to be a fireplace that's not fully shaped up yet, but it's kind of... I was debating between putting the fireplace there or putting it down here, but I think, like, of course, this house feels like an extension. You know, this section of the house feels like an extension to the house. So I'm thinking that originally, when this house was built, you know, the houses had those big boilers, like heaters down in the basement, you know. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, like the big heaters down there. They had a name for them. I think they were called boilers, or I think so. It makes me think of like boiling water, but I think they were called boilers. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking, is this used to be the fireplace that heated the house, and then they added the extension, so the other fireplace is more just decorative fireplace. This one is still down here for heating the house. I don't know, because I mean the place that we're building, it feels like it should be cold, you know, because of course the design of this house is based off, of course, the one from Alan Wake, which was oh, what's this? Which was like built in Maine. Not really, but you know, in the game it's based in Maine, and it's designed off of a lot of the architecture from Maine. And I mean, this feels like it would be pretty cold, like a kind of a cold place. So I'm thinking it does need a big boiler fireplace down in the basement. So that's my plan with that one. And then if we come through, we have another little room here, and these doors connect out to the walkway. Now they still need to be shaped up, and this one over here still needs to be shaped up. But if we come back through here and through this door, I've started this. I mean, it's not totally done, or maybe not totally done. It actually keeps off the rain, which is awesome. But I've started shaping this up and adding that little covered section for this. So we can put furniture out here, and you can come out and sit even when it's raining, and it'll be nice. Now, I was originally thinking I might put glass over this. I don't know. You know, I could do something with chisels and bits, because this is actually the block below the top, so I could have glass placed directly on top of the slats. And then do these architectural blocks up so it looks like they actually connect into the glass. I don't know for sure. I haven't decided. But I do like the little covered, you know, it's spruce slats that run across there. And I don't know, I kind of like it. Plus it rains all the time, so I think it'll be a good place to come out and sit. And enjoy the weather, but not be in the weather, you know. From our back porch area, which I still have a lot of landscaping to do behind this. If you couldn't tell, I have a ton of it to do. But yeah, and then I'm probably going to put some stuff in these little cubby things, but I'm still kind of working on those. So, but look at that, like, dun. It looks a lot less flat back here with the cover over the little patio area back there. And the nice thing is, if you look out the windows here, you know, you can kind of see the patio, but it's not... I dropped it down a level so that it doesn't, like, obscure your vision so much. And then actually from the top up here, it's even better because you can see it, but you can see past it as well. So, I think it's pretty good. Actually, as far as the interior goes, I think... I was originally planning on going through and adding rugs, right? But I think we're at a point with the interior, aside from doing the ceilings, which I think I've settled on the Benny stuff. I think we're just about at a point with the rooms that we're going to start going room by room. And a lot of that may be off camera because it's mainly just going to be decorating the inside. which is actually my least favorite part. If you couldn't imagine. I hate decorating the inside. I like architecture. I took some classes back in like high school for interior design, but I wasn't as interested in that as I was in architecture, you know, and I am, especially now, interested in architecture more so than in the interior design aspect. So, but I'm going to do some interior design work in here, and we're about to start taking it room by room, because then I'm going to add the rugs where I need them instead of just placing down rugs. I mean, I know I'm going to want a rug here, just a big, you know, entry into this section of the house rug. I know I want a rug right as you enter the house. The rest of the places, I sat down and I was like, where do I want to put rugs? And then I was like, I have no clue. So I will do some work with that. You know, maybe off camera, I don't know, because we're going to start working up here. We're going to add an office. We're going to add like an office slash library type area. And that, of course, that's where our enchanting is going to be. We're going to add a bedroom. We're going to add this area here is more like a big grand living room type area. This area is going to be something. So this is going to be something. Over here, I'm thinking maybe kitchen, dining room, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I know where we're gonna have. I know we're gonna have the library in the office. Well, I don't know. I might want the library downstairs. I have no clue. I'm gonna figure it out. I promise. I'm really regretting not raising this arch up a couple blocks, because I can't necessarily, whenever we start decorating this, I'm going to figure out something, because I'm not going to be able to put all the furniture directly against the wall. It's going to be out a little bit, but like I said, I'll remember it for next time. Next time I build a slanted roof, I'll do it right, but please excuse it. I mean, all my builds are more like a learning process. That's why I try not to do the same thing like multiple times and all that. So it's a learning process, and I have learned not to do that. So, but yeah, I'm going to try to figure out what kind of floor I'm going to put down here. I'm going to try to figure out the ceiling situation down here. Upstairs, we're going to need to get into the Benny's extra tree stuff. So that's going to be a little bit later. And I might even start adding some of the clutter down in here. I don't know. It just depends. Because, I mean, that's a lot of decorative stuff. This episode, I'm mainly just wanting to get all the architecture finished is my main goal. You know, I want to have walls where they're going to go. I want to have a basement where it's going to go. I want to have this little roof section where it's going to go. And I do have some exterior architecture that I need to do out here just to add a little bit to, like, break up just the flat walls. I want to add a little bit of architecture out here. But for the main part, I mean, that's my goal for this episode, is just finishing the architecture, and then we can just furnish it as we go, you know. So, anyways, I'm going to cut for a bit longer. I will be back whenever I have some more to show you guys. I also have to do an episode between this cut and the next cut. So, because this isn't going to be done in time. So, I'll be doing an episode which you guys will probably already know about it by the time this video comes out, but I'm sure it will have already been out. But anyways, I will be back in a bit, in a while. Okay, it's been a bit since the last cut. I've actually done an episode and it's come out and everything on the Blaze Rod farm. We'll actually pop over there here in just a second. I can show you. I let it run overnight, so it's been running and generating some stuff. If you take a look, well, not out here, but if we go through here, I love opening this door. Nothing, once again, I don't think anything's changed. It's been a little bit since I did the last cut and edited it and everything, but I don't think anything's changed up here that I can recall doing. Or really even down here. No, it's mainly been downstairs. But before we go down there, I have been thinking, and like originally when I started building this, before I got the beams up and everything, I felt like it was a little bit dark. Because it's brown, dark basalt. Of course, once we add the roof, I think the roof is going to be awesome. It's just, when I do the Benny's stuff, I want to do that in an episode because I feel like a lot of people don't realize how much there is in Benny's. And I don't guess I've ever done an episode covering it in the past. It's not in a lot of packs, like all the Benny's stuff, like the Benny's extra trees and the Benny's, you know, genetics and the Benny's, Benny's extra bees and Benny, there's like 4 of them or something. but I don't feel like it actually shows up in a lot of packs. So I do want to go over that in an episode, and we'll make turpentine and stuff. I mean, really the only use in turpentine is making wood polish, but I feel like it's kind of important that we do cover that stuff a little bit on camera. It is purely decorative, but it's amazing. It's amazing fun. But, you know, I was thinking it's really, really brown between the beams and the ceiling, and then it's got that black basalt. It's really dark, but it's grown on me. You know, originally I was wanting to really add a lot of contrast through this house, to really add, like, shades of white and stuff. But then when I get to looking at the building that the idea came from, and when I start looking at, it's almost got a medieval feel to it with these just big, rough beams, and the dark wood, the dark type stone. It has a really, like, rough medieval feel. Like, medieval cabin-y Maine. I guess. I don't know. I actually love it. The only big thing that's going to change is out here. It's not going to be runestone on this porch long term. You know, we talked about that before. That's just a temporary fix. But aside from that, I really like it. And we'll add, like, little pops of color with the carpets, or, you know, with the rugs, and then the furniture whenever we put that in here. But I think overall, I do quite like it. Which is funny, because normally I build, you know, if you watch my other series, normally my builds are a little bit brighter. You know, I tend to have bright floors and darker ceilings. It tends to be how it goes. But here lately, I don't know, like this series and Enigmatica, I've done a darker build. You know, Enigmatica's got that dark pirate look. Of course, that's not going to be the entire build, but almost like medieval structures. Not really medieval structures, but medieval to some extent, with just the roughness of it. I don't know. I like it. It's just got those like raw posts and stuff. But anyways, if we head down, I've been working in the basement. And this is going to be like one of those creepy basements, because before we go down there, I know I talk a lot during these episodes, but that's kind of the point of these episodes. This house, if you were to put like just a black wrought iron fence, bust some of the windows, put cobwebs, and just really kind of grunge it up a bit, it would look like that creepy house on the street that everybody's afraid of. You know, like it's all old and run down. Of course, it's not run down in this case, but if you made it run down, it would be like that big creepy house. And so I felt like it needs one of those creepy basements where like hoarders live, and they put like, you know, maybe this is like a family house and it's been passed down through generations, so all of like grandma and great grandma's stuff's downstairs. You know, it's kind of what I was thinking. Like it's going to be food storage and then like mass storage, so it kind of has that creepy basement feel to it. So if we head down, like I've added some barrels and crates along the side with fruit. The floor is actually just raw green schist. And originally I was thinking about doing like bricks or something, but I feel like I remember my great grandmother had a basement in her first house that I remember, you know, that she lived in from when I was younger, and then she got another one. It had a basement too, but anyway, she had a basement, and I remember the floor, it was like a concrete. You know, there wasn't anything elaborate or ornate about the floor. It was stone that you could walk on. And that's kind of what I was going for. It's just, and that green schist I think looks good with those ashen bricks, which I went with those, of course, because that is the base of the house, is that ashen brick. So it only made sense that the basement, because, you know, people don't, unless, like modern day basements, they finish them and put the carpet, and it's a living space. Old basements were generally not really elaborate. You know, you went down there was storage, there was food being kept, things like that. And that's kind of what I went for here, is it's a raw, gritty stone when you come down here. The walls aren't super decorative. That's just the base of the house showing through. The floor, I mean the ceiling's nothing elaborate. It's just, you know, the same kind of wood that they used up here, which in this case they're probably using a lot of the same types of wood, whatever's available, whatever's readily available. So I'm thinking primarily those sealed planks and that spruce wood is what's available, you know, in this area. And then, of course, in that expansion part of the house, it has a different, you know, that nice carved wood, because maybe it's a little bit more modern and, you know, updated and stuff like that. It's kind of what I'm thinking. It feels like an extension of the house. You know, it doesn't actually, when you're looking at it from the outside and the inside both, it almost feels like it wasn't originally there, and that's kind of what I was going for. My creepy rocking chair. In every creepy basement, you have to have a creepy rocking chair, of course. So, anyway, it's just rough green schist stone, nothing elaborate. But then we're doing a lot of clutter. So we've got like a lot of like fruit barrels, and you know, maybe all this is like food and stuff, and then crates and barrels here. There's one of these old like burning furnaces. I don't know if I'm going to keep that because it kind of feels like it should have been in the center, but I don't know. I put it there, but the nice thing about decocraft is you can pull up anything, you can throw it back in the deco bench, and get your stuff back from it. I did set up a deco bench over here that I've been using. But for example, I've got some extra crates here. If I put these in here and add to table, it gives me back my blue and my clay from that, which is quite nice. So I'm actually going to leave this deco bench here because it kind of adds to like the clutter feel of the basement. And this basement's not done. I've still got a ton of clutter to add. But it's one of my favorite things about decocraft is you can place things and then say, I don't really like that, pull it up, and there's no loss. You throw it back on the table and you get your stuff back. And I think a lot of the reason they do that is because they have like 1,000 things in decocraft, so there's so much to choose from. But if you step through here, we've got a little bit more. This is like spices. We have, you know, like ginger and tornado spice and green tea and stuff like that. We got some shelves up here, which I'm actually thinking about putting great-grandma's like old doll collection for like the patron dolls and stuff. Put a bunch of dolls up here. It would actually make the room really creepy, I think, with all the dolls like looking at you. It would be like something off Dead Silence. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to put just like knickknacks and maybe food-related stuff on there. I'm not for sure. But this is kind of like the house's like cold storage, you know, down here in the cellar. I shouldn't even call it a basement. I should just call it a cellar. So over here we have some chairs and stuff that were brought down from upstairs and put in front of the fireplace. I actually have triple fireplaces, so it looks like it's a little bit bigger of a fire heating the house. I don't know. I think I like that design. It's not as decorative fireplace. It's more like just raw, like built into the ground there, and it kind of like splays out like it's built into the ground, you know, and then it gets more narrow as it goes up. I think I like it. But I don't know. I mean, decocraft actually has fireplaces, but I feel like they're a little bit more decorative. You know, they got the mantelpieces and stuff. It's a little bit more decorative than I want. I want something that fits this house, like the raw, just gritty feel of this house. So I think I like it. I think so. I imagine Macaulay Culkin would probably run from this furnace too. Back in here, I've actually got a safe kind of hidden behind the furnace. So we've kind of got a safe and a little jewelry box there tucked away for safekeeping, so maybe nobody notices that they're there. Over here we have wine racks set up. So for all of our wine drinking needs, a couple bottles tossed around. Over here, more crates. Of course, lots and lots of crates. Over here we just have clutter, just junk that has accumulated inside of this house that nobody has. I think that's how it is, like those old family homes. I mean, I don't think it's as common now because most people, when they reach that age where they want a house, they get a house. You know, most couples, or they move out, they get an apartment. But back then, I think it was more common to have family homes, like, you know, years ago, right? And so I feel like stuff like accumulated and nobody threw it out and it all just got put into the basement. And that's kind of what I'm going for here. We've got a spinning wheel. We've got some papers thrown up there, some old chairs, which are actually kind of modern chairs, but I don't know. I don't know. They're kind of like, they remind me of the chairs from Beetlejuice. That's what they remind me of. And I don't know, I liked them, so I was like, I'm going to put these here. And the nice thing, once again, the nice thing about decocraft is you don't have to go into a test world. You can literally make this stuff. It's like, I don't like that. Throw it back in the deco bench, get something else. And it's time consuming to dig through all of decocraft. But it's so much fun. It's so much fun just digging through decocraft. I've spent like about a day doing this, like to give you an idea. Just digging through decocraft. And they've added some new stuff and everything. Over here we've got some books and a table that was brought down. I like that table, by the way. An old grandfather clock, which of course all creepy basements need one of those. I remember my parents had like an old one from Germany. And I don't know, I love grandfather clocks, but they are undoubtedly creepy, I think. Especially when they chime in like the middle of the night and it's just like that really loud, deep, dong, dong, you know. So of course we needed an old grandfather clock, an old phonograph, there's an old coffee grinder back there, more crates, spinning wheel. Of course a creepy old piano with candles built onto it that are still burning. Dun, dun, dun. And then some spice racks hanging up here, which of course all creepy basements need spice racks because things hanging down from racks is just creepy. And then back in here we have the deep storage room that's just filled with crates. But not as all as it seems. Because maybe somebody in this house has been practicing blood magic, which isn't in the mod pack. But maybe he wants it to be. And we have this creepy little corner of this, like, really dense, like, storage room. And if you climb through back in behind all these crates, his, like, little ritual altar and some books on the occult and the lectern and this chemistry, or this alchemy set. So I had to do this. This is actually a new item, and I wish, you know, we actually did a lot with decocraft and Divine Journey. Used it quite a bit. There was, you know, the ritual thing is new, the ritual circle, and I absolutely love this block. It's just really cool. It's got those burning candles, and this is like a new little thing from decocraft. I hope they keep doing like stuff like that, like kind of occult, because I mean, not so much this pack. I mean, there's no real occult mods in it, but you know, most packs have blood magic. Or evil craft, or I don't know if this ritual circle, I don't know if it really matches Thaumcraft terribly. Maybe. I mean, Thaumcraft's got some darker sides to it, but anyways, I do quite like that ritual circle, so I knew whenever I got it, I had to use it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to put a cellar in, so I've got to put it down in the cellar. And then if we come back, by the way, most of these things, like the crates, you can store stuff in. These boxes, you can store stuff in. The long crates here, you can store stuff in. The barrels, you can store stuff in. I'm not sure about the sideways barrels, I think. Yeah, you can store stuff in those. The fruit, really? You can store stuff in the fruit baskets now? I didn't think you used to be able to do that. Maybe you were, because I seem to remember putting, like, apples in my red apple barrel, and carrots in my carrots, and potatoes in my potatoes. I think maybe you could. But, yeah, I don't know, it's been a while. So, anyways, then if we step outside, a little bit of work done out here. I mean, most of my work has been the basement. Oh, by the way, you'll notice that it's actually, you can actually see right here where it changes. Because the runestone blocks, up under this is runestone. Runestone cannot be chiseled. So I actually had to put the chisels and bits on top of it. And originally I was thinking about making it all flush. And so the parts, you know, like the sealed planks that are right here, I could drop those down a level with chisels and bits. But you know what? I actually like it. Because it does kind of add some character. I mean, it looks like the floor is not all just smoothed. And I feel like that would actually be somewhat accurate. You know, there might be places that are brought out. And I might actually go through with chisels and bits and do more of that. Because like all throughout here is pretty smooth until you get to the edge. I mean, that's where the porch is. So I may unsmooth a lot of this and make it look like it's all, you know, the wood's not sitting entirely flush, because I feel like that would probably be the case, but I don't know. So, anyways, if we head through here, the main thing that I have done is, if we pop up here, look, I have done glass. This is streaked light gray glass from Chisel, which is light gray is what I've been using all throughout there, but I figured we needed a glass cover for this so that it made sense if the rain is not falling on us down here. Because if you just have the slats, rain's going to be still pouring all over you. But having that glass there, it shouldn't. You know, it should actually run off the edge there. So I did add that on top with just chisels and bits. So it's just chisels and bits, plain, and that's really all there was to it. It's pretty simple, but like I said, I did spend most of the time in the creepy basement. And one other thing, the last episode, which hasn't come out yet, I've actually been having issues. I've been having issues getting it to go up. Like, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It just keeps, during the processing. Like, if you're not familiar with how uploading works, you upload the video, right? And it takes however long, based on your internet speed more than anything. And you have to upload the video to YouTube. And for me, usually it takes a few hours, you know. And then after that, YouTube has to process it before it even becomes a video. And then there's also some processing. You can't really post a video as soon as it gets done processing, because it still continues to process for a few hours after that, so that you can actually watch the video in like 1080p. Of course, that's been buggy lately too. I know I've had some comments about videos not being in 1080p, but that's not my fault, YouTube. It's an issue with YouTube. They do that sometimes, and the video can't be watched. And basically, it gets like the bottom resolution for whatever reason. But for some reason, this video keeps failing, or the last video keeps failing during processing. I don't know what it is. At this point, it's probably going to be late coming out. I've been trying for like over a day. to get it up there. I've already uploaded it 3 times now, and it keeps failing. Well, I mean, this is my 3rd time, so maybe 3rd time's the charm. We'll see. But just a heads up on that. So I don't know what's going on. Of course, you won't know until, I'm sure, the last video will already be out by the time that this video comes out. But if something happens, and I don't know if this one will be late. I don't know if it's going to be a common theme. I mean, my shorter videos seem to be going up okay, but my hour-long ones, basically just that one as of right now, but it's having issues. So I just want to make note of that. Also, in that video, I keep wanting to say, well, technically for me it's the last video. In that video, I said that next episode we would be working on something. I think it was continuing on into Industrial Foregoing. I think next episode we are going to do the enchanting stuff, but I do think that we're going to spend a little bit of time covering Benny's extra trees, the woodworking stuff from that, because I do want to get because that's most of what I have left on the inside is putting up the ceiling. And I decided the ceiling in here, I also want it to be Benny's extra trees. So that's going to be the next episode, is getting into Benny's extra trees so I can get the ceilings up here and we can start moving stuff in and have this house at a point where I can say, okay, it's done. You know, I'm still decorating, but it's the building itself is done. So I do think that's what we're going to do next episode. But anyways, I'm going to cut for a bit longer. I will bring you guys back when I have more to show you. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing with decocraft or what. I'm kind of having fun decorating right now. Of course, I still need to continue decorating out the basement. Or I really need to do the exterior architecture. I need to finish that up. So I will probably do that, and then we'll decorate as we go, like little by little. I mean, really, the decorating part I don't have to have done right this second, but I really need to get the architecture done. So anyways, I'll be back here in a bit. Okay, it has been a bit, and I think for the most part, I'm done with the base exterior. I mean, aside, like I said, once again, aside from changing out the stone that's out here, I have went through and added some candles along the side to add light, and then a little lamp up there, just all by its lonesome way up there. And then I went through, I probably will end up cutting back on some of these flower boxes. I think I went a little bit overboard when I was looking at it. I did flower boxes literally everywhere. But once again, it's decocraft, so I can pull it up. I can toss it back in the deco bench. It's not a big deal. But I'm gonna be decorating and pulling things up and placing things down, and so all of the decorating part subject to change and subject to be added to. But I did add a ton of flower boxes here. So, and then I added some flowers up there, which I actually quite like those. Just adding a little bit of greenery against that, you know, the dark brick of the walls there, and brought out some little pillars next to the doors. I will probably put something over the door. I just don't know exactly what yet. For sure, I have some little parts where it kind of sticks out and plants are hanging, or plants are sitting. There is no hanging ferns or anything like that. I really wish decocraft would add some kind of hanging fern, because I do feel like that would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect for the mod. So there's actually a few things I wish decocraft would add, rocks being one of them. I think rocks, there's a lot of little things like that that I think are overlooked within decorating, and there's no like outdoor, you know, rocks. Like boulder, not really a boulder. I think of boulder as like a really big rock, but not any like outside rocks. And I would love a mod that added rocks, aside from just the little open blocks paths and stuff like, you know, I want some like big rocks that have like the rounded edges. I mean, it would go perfect with decocraft, but it's one of those things, I need to make just a list. That's what I need to do. I need to sit down and do one day, is just make a list of all the things I need in decocraft and submit it to the mod maker. Because like hanging ferns, because there's a lot of other hanging stuff within decocraft. Hanging ferns would be great. Rocks, like outdoor rocks, would be great. I may do that. I may have to sit down and do that, because I think it would really add to it. Up here, I've got a little camera set up. Just kind of some outdoor clutter. Once again, flower boxes for days. I'm going to have to cut down on those. I think it's a little bit excessive. I wish there was some variation to the flower boxes too, but you just have this one that looks like, I don't know what the red flower is. The white one kind of looks like daisies, and then maybe lavender. Maybe. I don't really know my flowers all that well, so, I mean, I know a few of them on site, but I I don't know. I'm just judging it based on like real flowers, but I think maybe that's what it is. And a little easel here, so maybe we're painting this beautiful landscape we have going on right there. And then if we head down out here, I love this covered area because that like brown against that black, and then I have that green and the little couches. I love this little area. Absolutely love it. Like, look at that. It might be a little bit over the top with the plants again. I may have to cut down on those. Like, I just started adding plants, and I love plants. So I was just like, plant, 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 plant. And I don't know. It might be a little bit excessive. I'm going to probably end up slimming it down a little bit. And then over here, we kind of have like a little barbecue and a little table. And just a nice, relaxing area out of the weather. Of course, I probably wouldn't sit out here and eat if it was raining really hard, but right now it's nice out. So we can sit out here and eat. And then, I don't guess, yeah, you can't sit in these. Some of the decocraft chairs you can sit in, but you can't sit in those. And then I added some little lights up there that kind of stick out, and just little hanging lights. Over here, once again, flower boxes. I've covered all the windows in flower boxes. I don't know. But these little chairs you can sit in, so I can sit up here with my axe and just whack things. But we can sit up here, which is nice. I do like the scenery here so much. And then once again, an easel over here for painting. So, if we head inside, let's go downstairs. I did end up playing with some decocraft. Like, I'm not sure on the exterior. I mean, I might add a little bit of architectural things. I mean, I guess really the main things I added was just those little, like, columns and little spots that stick out to hold up the plants and the spotlights. I didn't really add too much else. I guess as far as architecture, I don't know. I've got to get the thing added that's going to go back here. We're going to have a nice little area back here. It's not going to be a pool. I'm not going to put a pool in this house. But we are going to put something back here soon. And I have an idea of what I want back there. And then you can see I did pull back a little bit of the dirt. I've got to pull it back a bit more. I think. I'm still debating on how I want to landscape that back section. If I want to go with my original plan or not. I'm not for sure. We'll see. We shall see. But I love these just high ceilings. Like, it's just crazy high ceilings. And, I don't know, I love this, like, this whole little area here. Like, oh man. I just enjoy it so much. I did decide that over here is going to be the kitchen because it only makes sense that the kitchen is going to be over here. Because we could have like a little eatery out here. I am going to do a little separate, there we go, there's the rain, a little gazebo out here kind of thing on the deck so we can sit up under it and eat. It's not going to have an attached roof to the house though. It's going to be a separate structure, unlike, you know, in the back where it's almost kind of attached. It's going to be a little bit different there. If we head downstairs, I did spend a little bit of time, once again, playing with decocraft. I put up these creepy dream catchers because, I don't know, just because they're creepy, and I put them up just periodically around through here. But I did add a lot more clutter, and I also added some little lights, little hanging lights around, just, I don't know, to kind of give it some light, I guess. Creepy washboards and chairs and zombie head trophy, and a little Beauty and the Beast thing going on right here. And yeah, it's mainly just a whole lot of clutter is what I've done. Like, here's some plants. Yeah, I even got to put them inside this. I need so many plants. I don't know, like just kind of clutter. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if the plants will stay. I don't know, because we have so many plants outside. Why would I put them in clutter when I could set them outside with all the other thousands of plants? I don't know. I'm just kind of messing around. That's the fun thing about decocraft. You can sit down and you could just go haywire with things. You know, there's been times where I'll get, like, in decocraft, I'll just grab a bunch of the same thing and just pile them up and then pull it all down and throw them back in the deco bench. Just, I don't know. just to do it, basically. That's one of the things I love about decocraft is it's just so much fun just to throw things around and see what you think. Some leftover, like, old sewing stuff and just some armoires, and that's actually a piano bench, but I love that bench, right? And you can actually sit on it too. We will probably be using these because it's almost like a black leather, and I love the way it looks. Absolutely beautiful. Tossed in some wine bottles with the cognac, a scale. There's an axe where maybe Jack Nicholson got done on his rampage and stuck it in there. Of course, he actually died in that movie, but anyways, it's stuck in there, and a harp, and a little ship in a bottle, and just, I mean, it's really just a ton of clutter, is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just a ton of just clutter, which is what I want the basement to be. I want it to just be cluttered. I can sit down on this couch. Maybe, yeah, maybe my butt's just too big to sit in that one, like, one little seater chair. I have to sit on the two-person couch. Come here, Sprout. Or Grove Sprite. Yeah, Grove Sprite. But anyways, if we step back in here, this is my clutter kitchen. It's kind of like, that's why I want the actual kitchen right up here, because it would just make sense, like, you know, if somebody's cooking, they're like, oh, we're out of apples, or we're out of flour. Then luckily the cellar is right here, and they can go down and get their food, you know, their apples and stuff, or go down here and get their meat. This is actually a baking station. So you can see it teaches us how to make bread and donuts, croissants and donuts, right there. And then I've got like hanging peppers. Sadly, there's nothing to bring them down lower. I mean, there's chains, but it's like a rope. Actually, there is a rope. I might try that with decocraft. Let me do that real quick, because there is a rope. It's classified in the yard section, but I remember that would actually work. Let me get one more real quick. Now, the worst thing about decocraft is that it is a pain to place things. You will come to find, if you do much decocraft, it is an absolute pain to try and place things. That doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't. Man. Yeah, there's nothing really to bring those down at all, which is kind of a bummer. But I can do that and just dump it back in there. Anyways, I decided not to do the creepy dolls. I decided to actually put like food related stuff. I've got buckets up here that actually have water in them. There's buckets of water and buckets of milk, but you can't see it from here, so it just kind of looks like buckets up there, maybe to move liquids with, and eggs and cognac. Back in here is just tons of spices, flour, rice, talnia. I'm not familiar with that spice personally. Green tea, barley, ginger, saffron, razzle, indigo powder. Which is that used in food? I think that's supposed to be a dye. I don't know. I've never used indigo powder for anything. And curry. So, and then there's also tornado spice there. And then over here, I think I actually have one of each of them over here, in truth. But anyways, just a lot of like little things just kind of stuck there. There's some ginger, there's some fish hanging over the fruit, which is totally sanitary. You should do that in your own kitchen. Not really, don't do that. But it's just hanging fish. So maybe they're drying these fish, so maybe, well, they would be in a barrel of salt, wouldn't they? I don't know. It works. There's just food in here. It's just a cluttered mess. And then we have crates of fruit and vegetables. Buckets of vegetables. And then we've got hanging sausages, which do make sense to be in here. Which actually, these are meant to be on the wall, aren't they? I was thinking, because like, some of the stuff, like the fish are supposed to go on walls, but the peppers and the serrano hams are supposed to be on the ceiling. And then, of course, the pheasants. Like, this is also really sanitary. Hanging your dead rabbits and birds over the carrots. It's very, very sanitary. Once again, don't do that. Don't actually do that. But yeah, I'm going to put these sausages elsewhere. Okay, so they're spread out a little bit more. And then there's like cheese wheels and honey pots. It's basically just, like I said, it's just storage for food. Maybe they actually feed a lot of people. Like maybe this is, I mean, there's always Grove Sprites hanging out in here. So maybe this is where all the little, maybe the drone's making bread and the Grove Sprites are, I don't know, helping him or something. But, you know, maybe this is like where everybody comes to eat or something. I don't know. Maybe this is the big manor. And I am planning on doing a big, like, dining table and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I might actually have the kitchen be down. Maybe this is the kitchen. Because this looks more like... Because a lot of the kitchen stuff, if you look at the kitchen stuff within decocraft, a lot of it, it's mainly modern kitchen. And I feel like that little room is more like a kitchen would be in this type of, like, older medieval style house. I mean, because you have like these nice, like almost granite, or actually it looks more like marble countertops, and then you have this like black granite countertops. It's a lot more modern looking, whereas of course we want it to be a bit older looking, and I feel like this, like, I don't know, of course I didn't live in like medieval times. I've been to medieval times, but I didn't live in medieval times, and I feel like this would be more like, because in, you know, at least in movies and stuff, it's just like, it looks like a mess in those kitchens, like stuff's going on, stuff's stored everywhere, and I feel like this would actually be more of a kitchen like they would use. I'd have to put some kind of a heat source, maybe, unless they cook everything over here. I might have to add some kind of a heat source. I don't know. I might actually do the kitchen being here. Then I don't know. We'll see. You know, we'll see. But because then I could do this area up here as the big dining hall, and you know the cooks are down here in the basement and they bring the stuff up. I don't know. We'll see. And then we'll have an outdoor eatery type area. But then again, our barbecue grill is kind of modern. It's not really anything that I can help. There might be a little bit of modern, a little bit of medieval look to it. I don't know. There's also like a big piano in here, and I don't know. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. And we have electricity in the medieval age. I have no clue. I have no clue. Maybe they don't have like kitchen advancements, but they have electricity. You know, it's a made up culture, so who knows? Who knows? You know, because there is all that technology, so maybe they have electricity, but they still, you know, they're not necessarily civilized, and I don't know. We'll make sense of it. I'll figure something out to make sense of it. But yeah, that's the main work that I've done, and like I said, I'm going to be taking this room by room and kind of decorating it out. I mean, the basement might go through some small changes, but I mean, that's the general idea of it, is it's like this look, like clutter. You know, over here it's more storage, and over on this side it's more food type stuff. And I did try to segment that. I mean, there's still some clutter that's ran over. And then, really quick, I want to pop over here because I want to show you, I forgot to show you during the last cut, I want to show you what is all over here at the Blaze Farm. I do want to show you that. And I did work on a little bit of stuff, you know, well, you would have saw it in the most recent video, because I haven't worked on anything since the greenhouse and putting down some of the floor for the tank area, or some of the concrete down. But I did work on that stuff between some cuts, because I wanted to get that stuff done, at least, and over there I wanted to get that started a little bit. But if you want to see this, we're going to be dealing with that next episode for sure, because it's just packed full of ability totems at this point. Like, ability totems are rare, but guess what? They're not rare at all. Oops. And you can see it hasn't really updated. I mean, it still just shows the 4 ability totems, but is that what all of them are? Is just like jump, boost, absorption? Yeah, I almost feel like certain mobs give certain, because like there's night vision, step assist, jump boost, and absorption is like everything. Yeah, and it's just all those. Okay. So maybe we need different mobs to get different ability totems. Of course, we can combine those and get different ones. So I'm actually going to hit this lever because there's no point in it running until, you know, we deal with it. So, but next episode we are going to deal with that. We are going to, let's see, we're going to deal with that. We're going to do the enchanting stuff, and we are going to do the bennies. That's my plan, is those 3 things we're going to work on. And I was looking, and I think we're going to do the world upload next episode, because actually our last world upload was episode 21, and so then we'll do a 31. And that way I can show you guys the Benny stuff, and we can get I'll get the ceiling up in this, because I would rather you guys have the ceiling to go with it. And plus I can cover the Benny stuff, and we can get that Blaze Farm sorted, because I think that's kind of important. So, plus it'll actually be 10 episodes between, which will be good. So the world upload will be this weekend instead of today, this episode. And I think that way you guys will get all that stuff in there too. So and I might do a little bit of decorating in here between now and then, because like I said, the enchanting room is going to be more like a library office type area. But I think having a ceiling up in here would really kind of add to this building, and I would like you guys to actually get it with the ceiling. So I do think that's what we're going to do. So anyways, I am going to end out this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, I think that that'll be the last build video for this building, because the rest of it is just decorating for the most part. We do have to landscape, so there might be a landscape video because we do have a lot of landscaping to do outside. But as far as the actual like building the house and doing the architecture and stuff like that, I think we're pretty well done with that. So there might be one other build video just for the landscaping part of this, but I'm not ready to start landscaping just yet because I'm dreading it. It's gonna be so much work. Plus, I think I'm gonna do the architecture. Before we do the landscaping for this building, I think I'm gonna switch over and work on the refined storage building because I need to get that in. Like I need to get it in. So we are probably gonna do that before we landscape the outside of this. Plus, it'll give me time while I'm working on that to also decorate the inside of this house, and then we can landscape the outside, and then we can call this house done. You know, which will be nice. The refined storage building is not going to be like super huge, so it's not going to take. I'm thinking maybe one build video will probably take care of that, and the same with the Embers building. I think it's going to be like one build video, and then we'll have a landscape, the house video at some point. That's the current plans. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.